Stormwind honors those who serve.
Hello again and welcome back to Storm Talk. Today we will be taking a look at Varian, the High King of the Alliance. You can take a moment to read his description, we'll take a moment to look at his character. All in all, the model looks pretty good. There's no major obvious clipping. Kind of get
Perhaps
a
we
little
should
bit of
spar. I hear positive things
cape
about the
wiggle,
trial
and as you
mode.
can see, the cape actually touches his sword instead of going through it. Although the cape does seem to touch the sword a little bit before the sword exists, so minor issue there, but all in all, this is a pretty good skin, or pretty good character model. So let's
We
go
have
ahead
waited
and
long enough. Let us act.
take a look at his abilities. Of course, we're going to start with the trait. His trait is Heroic Strike. Every 18 seconds, Varian's next attack deals 140 bonus damage. Basic attacks reduce this cooldown by 2 seconds. His abilities are Lion's Fang, 60 mana with an 8-second cooldown, creates
Perhaps
a
we should
shockwave that
spar. I hear
travels in a
positive things
straight
about
line
the trial mode.
and deals damage, slowing enemies by 30% for 1.5 seconds. Parry, 15 mana with a 10-second charge cooldown. I believe it holds 2 charges. Parry all incoming basic attacks for 1.25 seconds, reducing their damage by 100%. Charge. It costs 50
We
mana
have waited long enough.
and has a
Let us
16-second
act.
cooldown. Charge to the enemy target, dealing 50 damage and slowing them by 75% for 1 second. Now Varian has 3 heroics, because as you can see, he is a multi-class warrior and assassin. So his first 2 heroics are tankish.
Perhaps we should spar. I hear positive things about the trial mode.
Are warrior. So we have Taunt, 40 mana with a 25-second cooldown. You force an enemy hero to attack you for 1.25 seconds. It increases your health by 50%, but reduces your attack speed by 25%. The next is Colossus Smash, 40 mana with a 20-second cooldown.
We have waited long enough. Let us act.
Smash a target enemy, dealing damage and making them vulnerable for 3 seconds. This increases your basic attack damage by 75%, and your maximum health is reduced by 10%. Not a very warrior-ish, but from WoW, this would be a prot, and this is Fury.
Perhaps we should spar. I hear positive things about the trial mode.
Possibly Arms, because I think this one might be Fury. I don't know, I didn't play a warrior in WoW, ever. I think I got one to, level 30 or something, screw it, I'll be a paladin. And his final talent is Twin Blades of Fury. Basic attacks reduce heroic strikes cooldown by 9 seconds, and increase Varian's movement speed by 30% for 2 seconds. Passively, this increases your attack speed by 100%, but reduces the damage by 25%. So, basically 150% increase. And since Heroic Strike, its cooldown is reduced by 9 seconds, and it has an 18-second cooldown, if you're attacking, you're basically every third attack will be a
I hear positive things about the trial mode.
Heroic Strike. Well, every third attack after the first attack. So you're constantly going to be triggering Heroic Strike. So let's go ahead and take a look at his skins. So here we have the High King. High King's Dark variant. I believe that's Dark Iron variant, actually. And
we have waited long enough. Let us act.
The white. I'm thinking Dalaran, based on the purples, but I don't know. Next we have his Master Skin. Into the red. And then into the purple. And then we have Logash.
Perhaps we should spar. I hear positive things about the trial mode.
which, if I remember from the lore, is when Varian was either brainwashed or lost his memories and was a gladiator for an orc arena. So the standard into the white, and then the blue where he's blonde.
We have waited long enough. Let us positive things about the trial.
So I'm going to go ahead and go with the white variation. You can even see the horde symbol in his sword, so that's kind of a cute little thing, especially since he is the leader of the alliance. Anyway, let's go ahead and try this out.
A little practice never hurt.
So we're going to revert all his levels to 1. Now, as you can see, you carry around a single sword, and you have a relatively fast attack speed for a hero, or for a warrior, with 1.25 attacks per second. Not to mention with Heroic Strike, you get a pretty nice little boost of damage on your first hits. So let's go ahead and take a look at these abilities real quick. First off, we have the Lion's Fang. Pretty simple. You kind of just shoot down a line, and it slows the target. Next, we have Parry.
Press forward.
See if we can trigger. So you absorb attacks. And then it will even tell you how much you absorb.
Serve with honor.
Very plain, very simple. And then finally we have Charge. Charge a target, deal damage, and slow them by 75%. All in all, one of the more basic concepts. You have a slow, you have an absorb, you have a slow. If it wasn't for his ult, he would basically be the... I don't want to say the ideal warrior, tanky warrior, but he would probably be one of the primary, like, okay, what does a warrior need? A slow, a mitigation, and some form of, engage. Well, we have a slow, a mitigation, and some form of engage. That is also actually a slow. So, yeah. Very basic, very simple, and very clean. Let's go ahead and turn off the cooldown, and we'll go ahead and toggle minions and just
With purpose.
show this off in a fight a little bit.
Justice is at hand. I fight for my kingdom.
So since I only absorb auto attacks, there's no real reason to keep this, or activate parry and while there's minions. At least in this mode. Obviously in a real game you would definitely activate it much more often, but the bots are pretty reliable in that they won't attack. Now, as you can see, one major flaw is you have, although you do have a pretty heavy damage mitigation, you have no real heal. So you can pretty much get tapped away. Like, just get tapped away by anything, even an Arthas. As you can see, once he ignores me, he's dead.
Blood.
But there was a time where I needed to back off because I don't have a healing. He does. He can just stay in life longer. But outside of that, I'm doing much more damage than he is, and I attack faster than he does. So there's kind of a twofold advantage there. Anyway, let's go ahead and start taking a look at the stats as we level up. So, at level 1, we have 2,215 health with a 4.61 regeneration, 500 mana with a 3-point regeneration, an attack range of 1.2, attack damage of 235, with 1.25 attacks per second. Now we jump up to 10.
Choose a talent.
And we have 2,890 health with a 5.98 regeneration, 590 mana with 3.88 regeneration, and we now deal 320 damage.
Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
At level 20, we have 3,885 HP with an 8.02 regeneration, 690 mana with a 4.86 regeneration, 450 damage. And at level 30,
Choose a talent.
we have a
Choose a talent.
5,223 hit points with a 10.77 regeneration, 790 mana with a 5.83 regeneration, and we deal smacking 636 damage 1.25 times per second.
Stormwind's light shines
Now,
on.
remember that all of Varian's heroics change at least 2 of these stats. So do be aware of that, and we will kind of look at those stats as we hit them, but only their level 30 variants. So let's go ahead and start taking a look at talents. At level 1, the Lion's Maw. Every time Lion's Fang hits a hero, increases its damage by 4. After hitting 30 heroes, the slow increases to 40% and its durations increases to 2 seconds from 30 and 1.5. So basically, you do 10% more in both, or 10% more slow for half a second. Yeah, 33% increase there. Overpower. Your parry, or when you parry hero basic attacks, heroic strikes cooldown is refreshed. This can only occur once per parry, however. And then you have High King's Quest. Hit 50 heroes with their basic attack, participate in 5 hero takedowns, gather 20 regeneration globes. After completing a single quest, you gain 10 basic attack damage. After completing all 3 quests, you gain 30 additional basic attack, for 60 in total. Now, this one's a little bit hard. If you're going tanky, I think Overpower is probably the way to go. It gives you additional heroic strikes, which is great. But not only does it give you additional heroic strikes, you're also looking at a parry build, and parry being your primary damage mitigation, you get some, mitigation. It's pretty simple. However, if you're going for a more damage build, I'd go for the High King's Quest. It gives you 60 additional attack damage. However, I'm going to sneak up here a little bit. That's 60 additional attack damage for your Colossus Smash and your Twin's Blade. Twin Blades. Remember, Twin's Blades reduces your basic attack damage, and Colossus Smash increases it. So, plus 60 to your base, plus 75. Or Twin Blades, it's 25% of 60, which I think is 15. So that changed it to 45, where this is changing it to 105. Since these are both the more attacky ones, I'd probably go for that. Lion's Maw is nice, but I don't think it's actually worth it. It's a slightly better slow for slightly longer, and it does more damage, which is great, but at level 30, that does 500 damage anyway. Popping that up to 600 isn't actually enough to do anything. So we're going to take Overpower for this build. At level 4, we have Shield Wall. Parry now grants protected and prevents all incoming damage for the duration. And Warbringer. Charge now stuns a target for 1 second instead of slowing them. And its cooldown is reduced by 10 seconds. Again, parry build for defense, Warbringer for everything else. I mean, less than half the cooldown and a stun. Changes a slow to a stun, obvious choice. So we're going to take Shield Wall.
Most excellent.
Now here's where the awkward comes from. Live by the Sword. Increase the duration of parry by 20%. If you block at least 2 heroic basic attacks with a single parry, its cooldown's reduced by 3 seconds. Parry's 10 seconds, reduce that by 3 seconds. That's a 7-second thing, and if you increase it by 20%, I think that changes it to a full 1.5 seconds. Don't quote me on that, that's rough math. It's a little hard to justify Live by the Sword against the other two. However, if you do have a healer, this one could easily come into play. Because if you're a tank, the other two probably aren't coming into play quite as much. Second Wind. Basic attacks will heal Varian for 1% of his maximum health. When you're below 50%, you also heal for 50% of the damage dealt. So, basically, all of your attacks heal you for 1%, and when you're really hurt, they heal you for more. All in all, this kind of comes out as Artanis' shield. At least the way I've seen it. It works very similar to Artanis' shield. The more you punch people, the less they can punch you. It makes you really sticky and a big asshole. However, you can just be nuked. So, if you're half health, an ult will drop your ass. However, if you're in a fight against a couple of assassins or a couple of warriors, you're going to outlast them because of this. Next, we have Victory Rush. Every 60 seconds, Varian's next basic attack will heal him for 1,299 health. When a minion or an enemy minion dies near you, the cooldown is reduced by 15 seconds. So every 4 minions that die, refresh its boost. So if you're slightly hurt when you start the fight, a minion wave consists of 7 enemies. And so you kill 4 of them, you heal again, you kill 3 of them, and then by the time you're into the next wave, you've already healed and you're ready to start the function all over again. If you have a healer, like a dedicated, you are the tank, the healer is your bitch healer, Live by the Sword. If you're going slightly tanky or more of a lane-ish build, Victory Rush. However, if you're going very aggressive, you go Second Wind. In short, if you're going Taunt, you go with the parry build. If you're going Colossus Smash, you go Victory Rush. And if you're going Twin Blades of Fury, you take that Second Wind, because that's 2.5% of your health every second plus. So, we're going to go take Live by the Sword.
Let our enemies beware.
And we're going to take Taunt. So, to demonstrate Taunt,
We think the same way.
Taunt is very simple. You walk up to a person, you yell at them, you make them follow you. It's simple, it's basic. And there really isn't much more to it than
Storm
that.
winds light.
Now let's go ahead and turn them off. Take a sip. Now, at level 13, this one's a little weird. Because I'm about to basically suggest something that I don't normally suggest. So we have the Banner of Stormwind. Activate to place a banner that grants 25% increased movement speed to nearby allies. The Banner of Ironforge. Activate this banner to grant resistance, which reduces all damage taken by 25% for 12 seconds. Or the Banner of Dalaran. Drop this to grant 20% ability power. Now, 90% of the time, I say never take a defensive stat unless you need to. Like, your plan shouldn't be to take plus defense. Your plan should be to play, and then if you need the defense, you take it. Because if you don't need it, you don't take it. However, the way this one works, I think Banner of Ironforge is the general drop. You're going to want to grab the Banner of Ironforge because in the middle of a team fight, you can drop this, and your entire team gains 25% resistance. Banner of Stormwind looks great, but it's so short. The banners have a rather short AoE. Like, it's long enough that in a fight it'd be a good drop, but oh, plus 25% movement speed, what do you need? What are you going to do with that? If you drop 25%, like if that was, oh yeah, activate that and anybody around you gets 25% movement speed, you can chase or you could run the fuck away. But to plop that just right there, like, oh yeah, 25% movement speed in that area only. Well, that's worthless. The Banner of Dalaran's pretty good if you have a couple of mages on your team. Yeah, if you got a Kel'Thas and maybe a Jaina or just anybody who could use ability power, the Banner of Dalaran might be good. But most of the time I'm going to say Banner of Ironforge because, as you can see, this is their area. So as long as you're within this area, you're being affected by the banner. However, the moment you leave it, the banner's gone. Oh, it's actually toggle cooldowns. Yeah, the moment you leave it, the banner's no longer affecting you. So, the movement speed one is kind of piss poor because if you're going to chase or run away, you want that ability to go with you. You don't want it to be in a very limited area that you're now going to run out of faster because you have bonus movement speed. 16, Juggernaut. Charge now deals damage equal to a hero's maximum health, 6%. Mortal Strike. Heroes hit by Heroic Strike receive 40% reduced healing. And Shattering Throw. Activate to throw a sword that deals 162 damage to a target and up to 4,546 damage to their shields. Basic attacks deal up to 200% bonus damage to shields. There are a handful of characters that do shields. I'm assuming because of this there's going to be more soon. So yeah, if you're against a character that has a shield, if you're against Artanis, if you're against Cassadar, if you're against, I'm trying to think of other characters that have shields, and outside of a couple of, like, abilities, most of them don't, like, have, like, or outside of a couple of talents, most of them don't have shields as abilities. Brightwing, Abathur, like, there's a handful, but if you're against somebody with a shield, feel free to take this. You smash, you grab, you walk out with smash. Juggernaut's pretty good if you've previously taken Warbringer. 6% of somebody's health. And then Mortal Strike. Reduces heroics, or yeah, when you hit, it reduces healing. You take this with Twin Blades. I mean, seriously. We're going to take Shatter Throw here, because it kind of fits our blue motif, for the most part. And also, so I can kind of demonstrate how it looks, because it pretty much would be worthless on every other character, or every other build. So,
We march.
demonstrate that. Simple. I'll go cooldown so I can show it a couple more times. You shoot your sword like Link when he has full health. It only hits heroes, and it does a ton of damage if they have a shield. If they don't have a shield, it does nothing. At level 20, we have Vigilance. Being hit by a hero, hero's basic attack reduces the cooldown of Taunt by 1 second. So, Taunt has a 25-second cooldown, 1 second, you get the gist. It's not that big a deal. Anything else, like if it had any other abilities, maybe. But just, hey, get punched and you can get punched sooner. Okay. As opposed to Glory to the Alliance. Your banner now has a regenerative effect. And it reduces the cooldown of the motherfucker by 20 seconds. So it drops from a 20 second to a 25 second. So you can now drop that whenever you drop your taunt. Like, hey, you punch me. Also, I take 25% less damage and I heal 50% faster. Yeah, why is this not the average? Like, that should be built into Vigilance. Well, I get why it's not, but still. And Demoralizing Shout. Activate to demoralize an enemy hero, reducing their damage dealt by 25%. Again, if you mix this, minus 25% of their damage, minus 25%. Fuck. I know that's not minus 50%, but we're gonna go with minus 50% because I'm really, really lazy. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take Demoralizing Shout just so I can show that off as well.
As one.
And that is an AoE. So, no, it's called. As you can see, anybody hit by it.
Serve with long overdue.
It only works on heroes, and it breaks their sword. Very simple. Trying to think how I'm going to do this.
Forward.
Okay, I'm going to turn off cooldowns, toggle enemy minions, I'm going to toggle my ally, because I need a healer. Sadly enough.
Good. I was groomed.
So as you can see, while I have a healer, I'm much stronger, obviously. And while I don't do a ton of damage, well, I mean, that's not completely true. I do some pretty decent. I'm doing, I guess, only 240 damage. What? Oh yeah, that's without the heroic strike. With the heroic strike, I'm doing 600 damage. And I just realized that all of the damage statistics I've said earlier are with heroic strike active, so they're not accurate. Which kind of sucks, but anyway, we're gonna go ahead and turn everybody off.
Choose a talent.
Excellently done.
Now, next we're gonna take up the next build. I'm not gonna be able to show off High King's quest because it takes so long to get. I mean, 50 hits, 5 takedowns, 20 globes. 50 hits I can get pretty quickly. 5 hero takedowns isn't too hard, but those 20 regeneration globes would take forever. So we're gonna take it, but we're not really gonna fill it. Warbringer, Victory Rush, and Smash.
Think the same way.
So Colossal Smash, Colossus Smash. Yeah, that's Colossus. It should be Colossal, I think. Is another charge ability. But, as you can see, it makes them vulnerable. And I'm dealing tons of damage to them. We have an increase of 75% damage, but our health goes down by 10%. In lane,
Purpose.
actually, let's go ahead and keep finishing. We're again going to build up the Banner of Ironforge. And for this one, we're going to build Juggernaut, Master of Arms. Well, I guess that means this is an arms warrior, doesn't it? Colossal Smash affects all enemies nearby the target and reduces its cooldown by 10 seconds. It's a 20-second spell, so basically you can just jump on it constantly. Or Glory to the Alliance. This one's really an up-to-you type thing, but I'm going to take Master of Arms just because it looks cool. Well, I mean, being able to jump on it more often is much better than less often.
Press
That
forward.
made so much cooler sounds in my head. So I'm going to go ahead and drop my banner. Gonna stun him. We're going to jump on it real quick just to drop him. So as you can see here, even by myself, I'm doing so much more damage. Obviously, I'm doing more damage. I'm a damage build as opposed to being a tank.
We march.
The AoE effect of my Colossus Smash is also really nice, as it helps me trigger my Victory Rush more often.
Killing spree.
Now, I'm not stupid enough to go engage under a tower, so I'm gonna back a little bit.
Our enemies fall one by one.
Woof. Sorry about that.
With purpose.
So, as we were saying, with this build right here, we have an extreme damage output. We're able to jump in, drop things, stun him real quick just for that last bit.
We think
Oh
the
no,
same.
he's getting away, except he's not.
Is at hand.
And as we do this, as you can see here, I've already got 2 of the 3 quests done, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this short and not push on the tower. But sorry, I lost my train of thought there.
I got interrupted, and there's not really much I can do about that. So we're gonna go ahead and drop
You
minions.
betrayed the Alliance. You
Refresh
betrayed
and
everything,
set.
Arthas.
Choose a talent.
Okay, this build's gonna be very similar. This build again, we are going very damage based. We're gonna be taking Second Wind and Twin Blades of Fury. Again, I like the Banner of Ironforge. It's defensive or defense in a fight for your entire team. The Banner of Stormwind, if it would stay with you, if it would just stay with you. So yeah, Ironforge. And this time we're going to take Mortal Strike. It reduces healing, so it doesn't do a lot, but, I mean, well, it reduces healing. That's actually a lot more than it sounds like.
Bold.
And for this one, we're going to take Frenzy. Twin Blades of Fury... Actually, shit, I just forgot to read this off. Twin Blades of Fury. Basic attacks reduce Heroic Stroke by 9 seconds. Increase Varian's movement speed by 30% for 2 seconds. Passively, it increases speed by 100% and reduces damage by 25, giving you a net gain of... a net gain of 150% of your DPS. And Frenzy. Twin Blades Fury increases Varian's attack speed by an additional 15%, up from 100 to 115, and the movement speed bonus by 10%. And the movement speed was 30, this gives us 40, that's above mounted movement speed. So just to show that off here, you can see over to the side, the cooldown.
This one's mine.
Well, for Twin Blades of Fury, as well, this has the giant circle around it. You can see its effect. So you gain attack speed, you lose damage. As you can see here, 200 or 2.88 attacks per second. With 2 193 damage and 1 585.
Serve
Even against bigger enemies. I don't actually even need to do this. Oh, whoops. I totally did not mean to get hit by that stun. But as you can see, while you are below 50%, you do heal a lot faster. I'm falling under just in time to hit with that Heroic Strike. So with that Heroic Strike, I'm getting back... with Heroic
victory.
Strike, I'm getting back the... Let's see, where does that healing get hidden? Huh. Yes, you get 50% of the of your damage back when you're at below 50 health. So, yeah, 50% of 500 is 200. Let's go ahead and toggle minions. Now with this build, you could also go with Victory Rush, as you are pretty good at taking down minions. Although, I honestly think this is a much, like, Second Wind was built for this.
Killing blow.
Justice is at hand. I fight for my kingdom.
And even in fights where you're just jumping in, you attack fast enough that healing isn't really an issue. Even against big things like the turret, you're able to get most of your health back pretty effectively.
Shines on.
And what's even better about this is the more damage you're doing, the more health you're getting back.
Our enemies fall one by
So you're
one.
ending up in this battery of you go down, or they go down, you go up. And as you can see, while this isn't Nexus health, I'm walking through buildings. I'm going to go ahead and reset these forts real quick and just kind of demonstrate this a little bit better.
This one's
By myself, no minions. Not the... Shoot the thing that's shooting you, or hit the thing that's shooting you. No. Okay. I mean, that was what, like 15 seconds? Yeah, that's hard to argue against. Now I'm going to give this a second so it can hit up the DPS, just so you can see what the DPS is for this. So, as you can see, we're hovering around 950 DPS. Now, if I remember right, the last big champion we did also had a level 30 DPS of about 1,000 damage. And that was Samuro. The problem with Samuro is that Samuro didn't have any healing. Well, guess what we have? We have second wind. We gain 1% of our health back every time we attack. We could have also taken Glory to the Alliance. It would slow us down slightly and stop us from being able to run and catch up as well. I mean, you would still have mount speed, you just wouldn't have better than mount speed. But then we could just gain plus 50% onto 1%, so 1.5%. Not to mention it changed the cooldown to a much shorter cooldown.
Stormwind's light shines
So, all in all, I love the twin blade build personally. I think it's the best
on.
build
We march.
in my opinion. However, as I demonstrated earlier, the Colossus Smash build is devastating against lower damage targets, especially low mobility, lower damage targets, such as Arthas or, well, pretty much any tank that doesn't have a physical disengage/engage. At the same time, taunt, being able to grab an opponent. The way this taunt will probably work is very much like, like taunt does in League of Legends, because there are a couple of heroes with taunt in League of Legends. It's not a powerful enough ability to be a game changer on its own. However, in a team fight, stopping somebody from attacking or forcing somebody to follow you for a second can be the difference between getting an engage. More than nothing, more than the taunt itself, the passive plus 50% health is probably the big thing for going taunt. It makes you a tank. With Colossus Strength, the 75% increased damage. I mean, seriously. You hit hard and you walk fast. I'm trying to do some rough math in my head. With Colossus Smash, you'll end up with 175% of your basic attack. So if 100 is whatever 100 is, you're getting 75%, so 175. Where with Twin Blades of Fury, you're doubling your attack speed, so you're getting 100% increased attack speed, but you're getting minus 25. So you're getting minus 25 twice in theory, which puts you at 150. Meaning that Colossus Smash will actually do more damage than Twin Blades of Fury. However, Twin Blades of Fury gives you the ability to run in, run out, and gives you that constant heroic strike, which puts it up above. Because, I mean, a constant bonus 400 damage. Seriously. I'm starting to ramble now. This one was a little hard
Press
to do
forward.
because, well, this champion is just so odd. If they put out another multi-class champion, hopefully we'll have gotten a little bit more used to it, and we'll be able to run through it a little bit easier. But I hope this was informative and fun for anybody watching it, and have a nice day.